Okay, it's been recorded. Okay, roll number 70. Did you understood anything by reading out this definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you understood?
It Some of the ma'am, it's actually like
Mm-hmm.
that. Some of the devices are connected over the network, and
Yes.
uh, they are and we can make a communication between the all the devices, which where that can be that will be the virtual or some of the information when
Okay.
we as can we share, or we can communicate by sending some messages, or we can share data this between the
Okay.
user and over the network.
Okay. Okay. This is what your definition, I mean, the previous definition for your IoT. But here you have some big, big words. Dynamic. Isn't it big? Interoperable. Right? So you have another word called as interfaces. So doesn't it look little big for you guys? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right? So is there any ladies? Is there any girls here in your class? How many girls are there? Hello? Okay. By the way, this IoT definition, this looks a little bit difficult to understand. So in order to make it easier for us to understand, let us break this definition down. Okay, let us break down this definition. So we have one term. See here, we have one term called as dynamic. Can anybody inside the class tell me what is the meaning of this dynamic?
Means it can adapt to situations. Means we can
Adapt to situation.
change
Very good, very
change
good. What
based
is
on
your name?
conditions.
Yes, yes. What is
Chandrakant,
your
ma'am.
name? Chandrakant. Okay. I can hear only from Chandrakant. Okay. Chandrakant, very good. Okay. So by dynamic means these IoT devices and systems have the capability to dynamically adapt with the changing context and take actions based on their operating conditions, users' context, or the sense environment. Okay, so this is one word that is dynamic. So we have another word called as self-configuring. Okay, so we have another word called as self-configuring. So apart from Chandrakant, I want to hear from anybody inside the class, what do you understood by the term self-configuring? Hello?
Ma'am.
Yes,
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am,
yes, yes.
self-configuring means whenever it is
Okay.
newly configured, it will be
Hmm.
adjusted to the previous ones. Like is
Okay,
self-configuring.
okay, okay, okay. So you are little bit closer to the point, but let me explain you what is self-configuring. Okay, so he was little bit closer to the point, but let me explain you once again what is self-configuring. Okay, so these IoT devices have this self-configuring capability. So it allows the last number of devices to work together to provide certain functionalities. For example, weather monitoring. So these devices have the ability to configure themselves. What do you mean by self? Self means themselves, ourselves, right? So these devices have the ability to configure themselves, set up the networking, all right, and face the latest software upgrades with minimal manual or user intervention. Okay, so without or with the minimal, I cannot say that without, okay, because there will be a manual configuration. So with minimal manual or user intervention, this software can upgrade themselves. So this is what self-configuring means. All right. So we have another term called as interoperable communication protocols. Interoperable communication protocols. Everybody knows the protocol. So what is a protocol? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is a protocol?
Set of instructions.
Protocol is
Ma'am, I
not a
think
set of instructions.
I have a delay, I guess. So I was not able to understand the question.
Okay, okay. So what do you understood by the term protocol? Hello?
It's like a rules, ma'am. Set of rules or
Rules.
which we have to follow
Okay, very good,
to
very good.
achieve a
So
desired task.
protocol, yes, yes, yes. Protocol is nothing but a set of rules. Okay. So you have another term called as a standard. So what do you understood by the term standards? Or what is the difference between the protocols and the standards?
Ma'am, like
Hello?
standard means some authority sets the protocol so that all should follow those protocol.
It's nothing.
Ma'am, or we can
Okay.
say
So when you
standards are complex
yes, yes,
and
yes.
protocols are simpler versions of it.
Okay. Okay, not exactly, not exactly. Okay, you can say protocols, simple and standards are complex. Not exactly. Okay. So what is the difference between protocols and standards is protocols, like what you guys tell me, that is nothing but a set of rules, right? This everybody agrees. And then standard
Yes,
means when you agreed, see, when you agreed on these rules, that is your protocol, then that becomes your standard. All right. So when some organization, see your organization or your company, like big companies, Amazon, and then Flipkart, big companies are there, right? So if they are agreeing upon some rules, that is the protocols, then that becomes their standard, their own standard. So the difference between the protocols and the standard. That's clear. Hello?
ma'am, once again.
Once again, let me tell you once again. Okay. So this protocol means set of rules, right?
See, in your syllabus, it is there like machine learning and IoT. So I thought that I will skip this topic, but I feel like I want to know how much you know about this machine learning. Okay, so you guys already have a course on machine learning and about this neural network and all that stuff. So you guys must be knowing some basic concepts or the fundamentals about this machine learning. So our topic for today is nothing but your machine learning and IoT. Machine learning. Right. So can anybody inside the class tell me what do you understood by the term machine learning? Anybody? See, volunteer yourself, because you know that if you answer inside the class, you have extra points, right? So try to answer as much as possible. So anybody, so there should be a competition, like I want to answer first, I want to answer first, right? So can anybody inside the class tell me what do you understood by the term machine learning in your own language? Fast.
Teaching a system how to perform a task without explicitly coding for it.
Okay, good. It was Ketan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So we have machine learning. So like Ketan told, it is like we are teaching a machine with the data to perform some particular task, and we are expecting it to give us an accurate result, right? So there is another term called as an artificial intelligence. So many a times, people get confused about machine learning and artificial intelligence, and they sometimes use these two terms interchangeably, right? So, but there is a huge lot of difference between this artificial intelligence and machine learning. So can you tell me the difference between machine learning and artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is machine learning.
Yes. Artificial intelligence is a
Superset.
superset of
Yeah.
machine learning, right?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Rohitas, ma'am.
Rohitas. Good, Rohitas. And I want different answers.
Artificial intelligence is all about mimicking human behavior with help of machines, and machine learning is more about statistics and how we can leverage numbers into making a system learn to do a task. It's a subset of
Okay.
it that deals with numbers and data most.
Okay, very good, very good. See, you guys already have the fundamentals of this artificial intelligence and machine learning. So let me tell you one more time, what is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? If somebody has confusion, right? So somebody may have confusion. It is we can't guarantee that 100% of you will get the difference between this artificial intelligence and machine learning. So let me tell you once again, right? So machine learning is a subset of AI. This everybody knows. Okay, which allows a machine to automatically learn from the past data without programming explicitly. This is what you know about machine learning. And coming to this artificial intelligence, it is nothing but a technology which enables a machine to simulate human behavior. Right? So why it is called as a subset of artificial intelligence? Why this machine learning is called as a subset of artificial intelligence? Or why superset of machine learning? Why artificial intelligence is called as a superset of machine learning? We should know, right? See, in machine learning, we are going to teach the machine with the data to perform a particular task, and it will give an accurate result. That's it, right? But in the artificial intelligence, what is going to happen is we make an intelligent system to perform any task like a human, right? Any task like a human. For example, machine learning in the sense like you are making a robot, right? The famous name of a robot is nothing but your Sophia, right? Artificial intelligence robot. Her name is Sophia, right? So Sophia's hand movement is nothing but your machine learning. And the entire Sophia, what Sophia can do, Sophia can speak, Sophia can work, Sophia can do anything like human, right? So that is nothing but your artificial intelligence. That is the reason why machine learning is called as a subset of artificial intelligence. All right. So after understanding these, so can you tell me the different types of the machine learning? Anybody? Apart from Ketan and Rohitesh, I want to hear from all. I want to hear from Harish also. I want to hear from Sri Hari, everybody. So what are the different types of the machine learning that you guys know? Fast. See, I'm running out of time. So can you guys do it a little faster? I know that everybody knows it and you are hesitating to answer it. Do not do that. If you know, just answer.
Supervised, unsupervised.
Supervised, unsupervised. Okay, who is this?
Prajwal.
Prajwal. Okay, Prajwal, good. Supervised, unsupervised. And there is another one more type is there apart from supervised and unsupervised. Can anybody tell? Yes, I have
Reinforcement. Reinforcement, ma'am.
Reinforcement. Who is answering reinforcement?
It's Rohitas.
Rohitas. Okay, good, guys, good. So these are the different types of the machine learning. Okay, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. See, today's class, let us consider that we are just brushing up about this machine learning because I thought that I will skip this portion, but that's okay. We will revise this once again. Okay. So what is this supervised learning? Supervised learning, right? Supervised learning. Supervised learning, right? So here in supervised learning, we have an input variable X, right? And an output variable Y, right? Let me repeat once again. Here in the supervised learning, we have an input variable X and an output variable Y. And we use an algorithm to learn the mapping function from the input to the output. That is Y is equal to Fx, which is nothing but Y is equal to Fx. Okay. So the goal is to approximate the mapping function so well that whenever we have a new input data X, we could predict the output variable Y. Right. So this is nothing but your supervised learning. Right. So, so in other words, let me simplify a little bit. Okay. So let me simplify a little bit so that you can write everything in your own words. Okay. So supervised learning, it is nothing but your machine learning method where each instance of a training data set is composed of different input attributes and expected output. It is going to be associated with expected output, right? The input attributes of a training data set can be of any kind of data. It can be your pixel of image, audio frequency histogram, right? So for each input instance, the expected output is going to be associated. That is called as the supervised learning. See, once the algorithm is trained with the associated output, right, it can be used to predict the correct output for the never seen input. Meaning for the very new never seen input, it is going to predict us our output. Right. So why it is called as a supervised learning? It is called as a supervised learning
Because the process of an algorithm learning from the training data can be thought of as a teacher, right? It can be thought of as a teacher supervising the learning process, right? See, supervise meaning something it is acting like a teacher, right? The learning stops. When the learning stops, you should also know this when this supervised learning is going to stop, right? So the learning stops when an algorithm achieves the acceptable level of performance, right? When it achieves the acceptable level of performance or the accuracy, then the learning stops, right? So can anybody give some example of the supervised learning? Fast. Let us be something like a competition, class competition. So can anybody give some examples of the supervised learning algorithms? Fast.
Ma'am, regression,
Regression, classification, regression. Okay, good. Yeah, support vector machines, all are those. Yeah. So coming to the unsupervised learning, so we all know now what is supervised learning, right? So coming to the unsupervised learning, where we have an input data X, but no corresponding output. That is the only difference between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. See, in the supervised learning, output will be associated, right, for every input data. But for the unsupervised learning, we have an input data X, but no corresponding output, right? So what is the goal of this unsupervised learning? The goal of this unsupervised learning is to model the underlying structure in order to learn more about the data. We do not have an output corresponding. That is the reason why we have to study more underlying structures in order to learn more about the data. Right. The data sets do not have an expected output associated with them, right? So instead, what it is going to do, it detects the pattern from the characteristics of the input data. And that comes your very famous algorithm that is called clustering, right? So instead, it is going to detect the patterns from the characteristics of the input data. So one example for this is nothing but your clustering. Right. So clustering means the similar data are going to be grouped together and it will be called as a cluster. Right. So the algorithm does not have the capability to label the data. Keep in mind, no label associated with unsupervised learning. Right. So why it is called as a unsupervised learning? Because there is no teacher. See, supervised learning means there is a teacher. Right. Unsupervised learning means there is no teacher and there is no correct answer. Right. So there is no teacher and there is no correct answer. The algorithm left off their own to discover and present the interesting structures and the data. So what are the examples of these unsupervised learning algorithm? Fast. Others.
Clustering, dimensional quick reduction.
Who is this?
Govind.
Govind. Okay, good, Govind. Okay, yes. Can you give a real life example of this clustering that you guys have given an example of clustering for unsupervised learning? Can you give a real life example for clustering or as unsupervised learning algorithm? I asked to, what is his name? Not Chaitanya. It starts with C. Chandrakant, yes. Chandrakant, can you give a real life example of unsupervised learning algorithm?
Okay. Chandrakant is not present. So anybody inside the class?
Hidden Markov model, ma'am.
Hidden Markov model. I'm telling like a real life example. Like you
Spam detection.
What?
Spam detection, fraud detection.
Fraud detection. Okay. So here, see, suppose, for example, let me give you some real life example. Okay, that is little complex, right? So in the real life example, suppose a friend of you invites you to a party, right? Suppose a friend of you is inviting you to a party where you meet strangers. If a friend is inviting you to a party, then it is obvious that there will be a lot of strangers, right? So you can cluster them based on the gender, age, etc. Right? Based on the gender, age, etc., you can cluster them. Because those are the strangers. You don't know them, right? As you do not have any prior knowledge about them. So see, this is one example of what unsupervised learning algorithm. Without going further to do those fraud detection, all those things, you can give this as an example also. This is a real life example, right? So after understanding this unsupervised learning algorithm, there is another called as the reinforcement learning. Reinforcement, right? So reinforcement machine learning. So what is this reinforcement machine learning? It is nothing but it allows the machine to automatically determine the ideal behavior within a specific context to maximize its performance, right? See, it is about the interaction between two elements. When you heard about the term reinforcement, it is nothing but interaction between two elements. What are those two elements? The environment and the learning agent. Okay, so one is nothing but your environment. One is nothing but your environment, and two is nothing but your learning agent. Learning agent. Right. So when we talk about this reinforcement learning, it is about the interaction between the two elements, which is nothing but the environment and the learning agent. Right. So the learning agent uses two mechanisms. This learning agent, it is going to use what? Two mechanisms. Two mechanism, right? So two mechanism. One is called as what? One is called as what? Exploration. One is called as exploration, and another it is also called as exploitation. Exploitation. Right. So this learning agent, it uses two mechanisms. The first one is called as an exploration, and the second one is called as an exploitation. Right. So what is this exploration? So exploration means when the learning agent uses trial and error basis. When it uses exploring, it's exploring, right? So when you explore, it is obvious that we are going to use trial and error method. Trial and error, right? So next is nothing but your exploitation. So what is this exploitation? It acts based on the knowledge gained from the environment. Exploiting means it acts based on the knowledge gained from the environment. Based on the knowledge. Right. Based on the knowledge gained from the environment. All right. So, for example, so what will be the best example of reinforcement learning? See, if you want to learn machine learning, or if you want to learn any new subject, it is the best thing is to learn it with the real life example, so that you can not forget what it does and what it means. Okay, so one real life example for this reinforcement learning is nothing but creating the next best offer model for call center, right? So next best offer. Example for this is nothing but next best offer. Next best offer, best offer for a call center. For a call center. Right. So this is one example of this reinforcement learning. So how it is going to happen? See how it is going to happen. So by building a predicting model that learns over time as user accept or reject the offer made by the sales staff. There will be exception and there will be rejection also. Right. So for example, we have an agent, right? We have an agent called as Harsha. We have an agent called as Harsha, and she has to decide which one is duck or bird, right? Which one is a bird, right? So what Harsha is going to do? First, Harsha will observe the environment first and select the action using some policy, right? So if it makes the wrong decision, if Harsha is making the wrong decision, if Harsha thinks that this dog is a bird, then it is making a wrong decision, right? So whenever Harsha makes a wrong decision, she is going to get a penalty, right? See, whenever Harsha is making a wrong decision, then Harsha is obviously going to get a penalty. Then after getting the penalty, the machine will update its policy. The machine is going to automatically update its policy. Meaning, see, Harsha is telling that dog is a bird, then it is a penalty, so we cannot say dog is a bird, right? That will be recorded in the machine, right? And this will continue till the machine achieves an optimal policy. So next time, whenever Harsha sees the dog, then she will never tell that it is a duck, right? So that this way it is going to update the machine itself, right? So using the penalty, whenever it makes the wrong decision, it gives the penalty and the machine automatically updates itself, right? So this is how reinforcement machine learning works, right? So reinforcement means we are doing it again and again until we achieve the final result, right? So this is nothing but your reinforcement learning, right? So you guys may have confusion when to use with machine learning algorithms, right? So you guys may have confusion like when to use which algorithm, means when should I use classification, when should I use regression, when should I use clustering, when should I use reinforcement, right? So there may be confusion, right? So whenever you want, is this A or B? Is this A or B? This type of question comes, then it is obvious that you have to use classification problem. Keep in mind, okay? Make a note of it. It will be very helpful in your project point of view, okay? So whenever you have such kind of questions like, is this A or B, or is this ball or bat, then in that scenario, you have to use classification, machine learning algorithms, right? So next is how much. Next is how much or how many. How much or how many, right? So how much or how many, such type of question comes, then you have to use regression, right? Regression means it will give you only one answer, right? So how much is the weather today, right? So it has only one answer, 34 degrees Celsius, right? So such a kind of question, if such kind of question comes, then you have to use only a regression, right? So next is, how is this organized? Next is, how is this organized? How is this organized? See, such type of question comes, means organizing means It should be obviously clustering. You have to make use of clustering, right? So next is nothing but what should I do next? What should I do next? What should I do next? Right. So if such type of question comes, then what you have to use? You have to use reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning. Right. So this is whole thing about the machine learning. You have to choose your project, and after that you have to decide which question I'm going to work on. Is my project going to work on classifying A or B, or is my project going to predict one value, or is my project going to organize, or else if my project is going to ask me what I should do next, then according to that you have to choose your machine learning algorithms, and you apply your algorithms, and then you can start working on it. All right. So this is all about machine learning, and I am talking in a brief because you have a detailed course on it. So I don't think it is necessary to go very deep into these machine learning algorithms. Do I have time? 9:45. Yes, I have time. Okay. So in our syllabus, we have something called as an IOT data for machine learning. See, we can use the IOT data. See, IOT is all about the data, right? So IOT data for machine learning means we can use the IOT data for machine learning. All right. So let us understand, or let us build. Let us write down one program. Okay. So let us write down one program to scrap web scraping. Okay. Let us do one program for web scraping. Web scraping in the sense like from a website, we are going to scrap some title or some text, right? So that way it may become your data also. So if you want to do some project, and if you do not have a proper data, you can obviously go for web scraping. So web scraping in the sense like if you have a website, and then from the website, whatever the contents that you want, you can scrap out. It's everything should be automatic, not manual. Okay. See, given you to extract all the comments in the Facebook, you can't go and do everything manually. See, for 100 you can do it, but for billions you can't do it. So it should be automatic, right? So let us do a simple program to web extract or web scrap using our Python. Okay. So let's get this one. It's little slow. Net is little slow. See here, in order to web scrap using Python, we will be needing two libraries, that is Beautiful Soup and then Request. Beautiful Soup is nothing but your soup that you drink at home. It is the library. Okay, so let us use those Request and Beautiful Soup, and if any error comes, then let's debug it together. Okay. So if any error comes while typing, let's debug it together. Okay, import and then request. Yes, request. I haven't prepared this program yesterday, but if any error comes, let's debug it together, okay? So from BS4, we are going to what? Import Beautiful Soup. Beautiful Soup. Right. So after that, let us put one request. Request is equal to request dot get, and after that we have to put one URL for this. So the famous URL will be Facebook. So I will put this one as Facebook. Then command www. Facebook.com. Okay, Facebook.com. And then soup equals beautiful soup, and then request dot content comma. So this HTML should be in the double quotation marks, okay? Otherwise it will throw some errors. HTML dot parser, and then res equals soup dot. I want to extract only the title of the Facebook because it is little bit, privacy concern is there. That's why I will just extract the title of the Facebook. If you want to extract comments and all, you can do it later, okay? So let me extract only the title first because there may be some privacy concerns, okay? So really title, and then let us print out the title. So print out the title. While printing out the title of any web page, what you're going to do? When you open a Facebook web page or website, what you're going to get is nothing but your Facebook along with the username, login, password, right? That we should get in the output. So print, what you're going to print? Res dot get text. Right. So I hope this works. No module name request. Okay, no module name request means I haven't installed the request. Okay, so let's install this request. So how do we install the request? Using pip, right? So pip install request, request, pip install request from the terminal. Keep in mind that I am using the PyCharm. So PyCharm does have a terminal in it. So go to the terminal and install it. Okay. So it's installing, successfully installed, and let's run once again. Run to it. Okay, no module name beautiful soup. Okay, let's go to the terminal once again and let's install the beautiful soup. So pip install beautiful soup 4. Enter. So keep in mind that you have to install beautiful soup 4. Okay, there should be 4 in it. Beautiful soup 4 because I am using BS4. From the BS4 we are going to import beautiful soup. That is the reason why whenever you install using the pip install beautiful soup, keep in mind that you have to use beautiful soup 4. Right. So we have installed everything. This is the only 2 libraries that we needed for this program. That is the web scraping from any website of your choice. Then let's run it. Run this too. No error should be there. Okay, we got it. This is the output. See here, you can see this output, right? See here, you can see this output. Facebook, login or sign up, right? So this is what you get. This is what you get in your title of the Facebook. So whenever you open the website of your Facebook, what you get is nothing but your Facebook and then login or signed up. So why only this one is coming up? Because I want to see only the title. So soup.title, I am giving this as soup.title only. That is the reason why I'm getting here only the title. But you can play around with this. Okay, you can play around and extract all the data from the, this is a good idea, okay, from the data or the comments about some particular thing, like something about robots, right? So if you give the keyword as a robot, and then whatever the comments that are inside the Facebook which has the robot in it, then you can extract all those and then you can make that as your data for your project. This is one best example for extracting the text from the website. Okay, so using these, see, after using these, we are just simulating this IoT, right? We are just simulating these Proteus software. That is the reason why we do not have this physical Raspberry Pi and all. That is the reason why I'm just picking up some random website and extracting the text from it. But the method to do this is same, right? So this will be helpful for your project. If you have any anything to do about web scraping from for your project, that is collecting data automatically, then you can use these as a reference. Okay, so for today, let's stop here for today. Please work on your project. At least Monday, you dedicate your time only for the minor project. Rest of the days, you do your major project, no issues. You do whatever you want. But on Monday, you have to dedicate the full 2 hours only for the minor project. Okay. At the end, you will have to present it, and according to your presentation, marks will be given. Right. So let's end here for today.